The full intention here with this build is to show you the process, like step by step, what I go through. Even like the little like mundane shit, like freshening up the taillights right there. Because it actually takes a long time to do this, you know? And you have to be extremely careful to do it correctly, or else you're gonna strip off some of the paint. So I did this headlight like a month ago in like the first video, basically. If you start messing up and you don't put the paint right, the tape right, you're gonna shave off some of the paint. Luckily for us, this front bumper is already pretty messed up, so it doesn't, you know, I don't really care. But for some of you guys, this could look pristine and you're just gonna mess it up if you don't do it correctly. You can kind of like already see that this is a lot more clear than that yellow one over there. You know, it might not be a big transformation, but these little tiny transformations are going to add up into the greater whole. So the C350 right now has these aftermarket taillights that my plan is to replace these with some super cool ones, but you know, now in the beginning of the budget build, we're gonna freshen up these first. Countless ways to do this, but the easiest way is just to simply just buy a kit. I mean, you can spend all the time you want researching different ways to do it, or like just buying the parts yourself. But most of the time, especially someone who might not be as mechanically inclined or is doing this for the first time, simple and like pre-packaged ways are always easier. So before you start, you're definitely gonna need one of these. Hopefully you guys have something like this. If not, it's kind of, you gotta do it by hand. It's gonna take forever. So right now we're in the process of cleaning up the taillights. This is why I like these kits, because like I haven't done this in a while, so it's always good to reference back what you're supposed to do, and it just makes things a lot easier. You don't have to overcomplicate it. Just buy the kits, like 20 bucks. This is gonna be like your first thing that you're gonna do. Easier is better. This is your first time doing it. It can be a little bit frustrating, a little bit scary. But yeah, when taping up the taillight, you want to make sure you use as much as possible, because you can always replace the tape, but the paint, you know, it's not something like you can easily repair. Even being as careful as I possibly can, it started getting into the tape right here, and luckily it didn't get too deep yet. But yeah, we're using the 800 grit, spraying a bunch of water on it as much as possible. Yeah, you can already see like a lot of the dirt is like coming off by just using the 800 grit, but we're not done yet. So this job's probably going to take a little bit more than an hour if this is your first time, or even if this is like your second time. Still yellow right now, so I'm probably going to have to do another pass of the 800 grit. And you might have to do several passes too, because just think about like how much like sun damage this thing has gone through, and you're pretty much trying to strip off as much of the yellow film as possible. But I mean, this one looks deep. Like I'd probably have to shave off like a bunch of the outer plastic. All right, we're almost there. We're on the third step, and we're on the 3000 grit. And for this one, this is gonna be dry, and make sure like you dry it and keep it dry. I mean, not that it's gonna get more wet over time. It's just like, yeah, just make sure you dry it up after you're going through the whole thing. You want to make sure there's an even haze with the 800 and the 1500 grit. But now we're gonna use the 3000 grit. Yeah, so we're at the last part. We have the big ball thing at the end of the drill, the cordless drill, and we put a nickel size of this polisher. All right, moment of truth. This is the old tail light, so actually doesn't look that bad, but in person it looks a lot more yellow. But then here is the new one. It looks a lot clearer. You can actually see inside. It's not as like faded. It is slightly yellow, but not bad for our first attempt. I'm actually pretty happy with it. It was a lot harder to do this side right here, these corners, because obviously the polisher is like circle, and you kind of have to like angle it to get this side. So yeah, you can just seeing it from here, you can see how drastically different it is. Alright guys, thank you for watching this video. I'm gonna finish up doing the other headlight right here and then the other tail light, so that the next time we come back we can start assembling the car so we can get ready for the wrap. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.
Reps, and you have to do the same.